All right, I'm going to do a tutorial on Kim Krans's hashtag Draw the Feeling. So what I use for this are her archetype cards. Here's some of them spread out here. Kim's first step is she says you just have to work out the kinks. You have to get the muscles moving. And so you can see here what I did. It was just like grabbed a pen. And for 1 minute, you set a timer and you just scribble. You scribble as hard as you can, as fast as you can. You don't stop. You don't try to be pretty. You just scribble, 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 scribble. And you get out the kinks. And then you take the next minute, and she had to start right here at the center. And without stopping, you draw a spiral. And again, this is sort of just saying like, hey, body, I'm here. I'm ready to work. I'm ready for whatever it is you want to say to me. Let's do this. And you just do your spiral. It's almost like morning exercises or stretches. Then I pulled a card. And the card was the dead end. So then you go to the book and you look for the dead end is one of her places, right? Page 143. Okay, and I read some about the dead end. Sorry, it's so blurry. So some of what the dead end says, it's a closed door, it's a final chapter, it's an impasse. It's like, and then you start reading and it says, contrary to what its name implies, the dead end is very much alive. It is thick, dense, uncompromising. It says, no more, child. You have reached the last page of this chapter. So you read the whole page to yourself and then you close your eyes and you draw the feeling. And so when I sat with these words and the image of the dead end, the feeling it came up in me was this. I just grabbed colors and I just started drawing. It was like hard. My fist was clenched. I felt like I was going like this to get it down. And the words that came through were effort, 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 find a way through, let it come forth, effort in a box. Oh, and it was hard. The feeling was so much anxiety. And then she says, pause, breathe. You've kind of gotten that top layer of the feeling out now. And now it's time to draw the feeling underneath the feeling. What is the thing underneath that couldn't come through? The deeper knowing, what your inner knower knows to be true, that this stood in the way of. And it was this. That's what came out. This color, this image, that word. But I couldn't get to center and to the light and to the spiral and all this interconnectivity until I got this out. And a lot of times what we try to do with our feelings is we try to jump here before we've dealt with this. And it doesn't work because then this is still here and it has to come out eventually. And so it comes out sideways and it usually hurts people and it hurts us. The beauty of this exercise is that you're letting this speak so that this truth can reveal itself. I'm going to show you, this is another scribbly scribble that my 10-year-old son did actually. And then that's his version of the spiral. And then that was his response. Kind of these like gnarly scribbles, look sort of like a brain to the dead end. And then once he got this out, he drew that. So beautiful. I'm going to show you one more. So for this one, the exercise was all the scribblies for 1 minute, don't stop. And then she had us try to draw lines down the page, intersecting grid lines, which was really hard to do. But you don't like trying to make it perfect. You just keep the pen moving. And then she pulled a card for us, and the card was the orphan. So some of what the orphan says is the wounded child, the abandoned, the beggar. It's a card that says we are in a universal kind of orphanage of nature, of each other. The earth is begging for our attention. We are separated from the things that bring us life. So I sat with that card, I closed my eyes. Here's the card again up close, the orphan. And I drew the feeling. And this is what it was. I was inside this very deep, deep container. And the light was up there, but it was not getting to me. And my hands were desperate and reaching. They were like these tree claws. And the words abandoned and inner child. And this made me really sad to draw that and realize that is how that feels for me, that I'm so isolated and like layer of walls, and the light can't get to me. And my face can't be seen. And I'm all hands and longing and reaching. And I got this out. And then underneath it was this. And I would say I'm not an artist, so this was like amazing to me that this is what came out. It was like the walls of the container just folded open like origami. And where that pool was that I was sitting in became this beautiful reflecting pool in between myself and someone else, or maybe it's me and me. And this light radiating, instead of me having to reach for the light, it's radiating from the pool, from our hearts to each other, from our eyes and our mouths, and then all around us. And the word was soham. I am that is what it means. I am that. So again, it went from abandoned, inner child, and the tiny words here say, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? How can I help? If I help, I am seen. 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 If I am seen, I am loved. And instead of all that, it turned into this. So that is an example of draw the feeling and what can come up.